Good morning, family and friends. At the beginning of the month, we discussed coronary artery disease and its risk factors and symptoms. Coronary artery disease is essentially a plumbing issue where plaque, also referred to as cholesterol deposits, clog up the arteries. So today, we will discuss ways to help unclog your arteries and recommend Roto-Rooter like foods. However, before we get started, I want to share the story of Dr. Kim Williams, former president of the American College of Cardiology. In 2003, Dr. Williams saw a patient with severe heart disease, confirmed with a cardiac scan. She chose not to receive traditional medical treatment. Upon returning for a follow-up visit, he repeated the scan and was shocked to find a dramatic improvement. He immediately asked her what type of treatment had she undergone. She denied having had any medical or surgical intervention. Instead, she stated she had begun the Ornish diet, a plant-based diet. He was astonished at these remarkable results. He subsequently checked his cholesterol and it was found to be elevated. His LDL cholesterol, also referred to as the bad cholesterol, was elevated at 170. As a result, he decided to overhaul his diet and become entirely plant-based. When he rechecked his LDL cholesterol in 6 weeks, it had miraculously dropped to 90. So what we see is that whole plant-based foods are those Roto-Rooter foods that will help unclog your plaque-laden arteries. Whole plant-based food does not contain cholesterol, and rarely do you find saturated fat in whole plant-based foods. Both cholesterol and saturated fat are predominantly found in meat and dairy products, and they will increase your LDL, which is the bad cholesterol. It is important to note that our body needs cholesterol to produce vitamin D and certain hormones like estrogen and testosterone. Moreover, our body does an outstanding job in making its own cholesterol. It does not need an exogenous food source to do its job. Therefore, eating foods with cholesterol is essentially adding insult to injury. Of interest, the American Heart Association used to recommend limiting the consumption of cholesterol to less than 300 milligrams per day. However, now it is recommended keeping dietary cholesterol as low as possible without compromising the nutritional adequacy of the diet. With that said, from my experience, it is difficult for some people to abruptly eliminate animal products. Realistically, people should begin today with gradual changes over time, with the end goal of making their diet predominantly plant-based. If you must consume meat, omega-rich fish is the best choice. I recommend converting to a Mediterranean way of eating, which is the #1 most researched diet. It consists of many fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and omega-rich fish, and occasional poultry. Well, join me next week. We will look at specific foods that can boost your heart's health.